When you first start ALEKS, you'll have initial knowledge check. And so you start this, and it's going to take you, you don't have to complete this. You can actually skip this if you want, but I highly recommend that you take it because this gives you an overall, an individual plan for every single student. So if you don't take this, it's going to start you back at the very first topic. And the very first topic might be adding some numbers, and so obviously you may know this topic and you may not struggle with this topic at all, and so there's no reason to do it. So that's what this knowledge check does. It starts you at the beginning and it takes you all the way to the end, and you answer as many questions as you can, and then it will start you and your own individual plan where you want to go from there. So I'm going to go and start this. I'm going to go and skip the tutorial. So once you spend a few minutes taking that, again, you don't have to do that, but it gives you a pie chart of how many topics you did. And, I just spent a few minutes clicking on a few of them, and, I kind of just skipped over the ones that I couldn't do right off the top of my head. So anyway, so this is a pie chart, and if you look over here, this is how many topics you've completed out of the 435. It also says up here as well. So you've mastered 336. There's different levels, by the way. There's learned and there's mastered. So you definitely want to master them, not just learn them. And then the remaining, I have 99 topics. So again, there's 435 topics altogether. Keep an eye on your pie chart because the ultimate goal is to go through all 435 topics. That's the ultimate goal. Also, it lets you know working towards a weekly time goal 1. This tells you how much time you have remaining. And as a minimum, by the way, that's how much you're required to do 4 hours minimum a week. And then a weekly topics goal, you're required to do 20 topics. Again, I have not done any topics yet because all I did was the initial knowledge check. That does not count toward the topics of the week. So if I wanted to start my path, up next for me would be simplifying a ratio of decimals. So I could start my path and it would go to my next topic to learn it. Remember, the goal is to learn 20 topics per week. And spend 4 hours as a minimum. And again, this whole course, the entire course's purpose is to train you to refresh your memory on these topics. At the 8th week of the course, you're going to take a placement test. That placement test will help place you on your next math course. If all you do is the minimum amount each week, most likely you will still pass the course and just move on to Math 100. Again, typically this class is CLST 103, and then you go to Math 100, and then Math 110, and then the one required math class for your degree, for your personal degree. So if you do well, I mean, that's 4 semesters of math you're lined up to take right now. If you do very well completing many of the topics and you do quite well on the 8th week placement test, that placement test could help you skip Math 100, and that would save you a whole semester. Or it could help you skip Math 100 and Math 110, saving you a whole year of taking math classes. So this class, again, the amount of topics that you complete per week is totally up to you, but minimum 20. If your goal is to do very well on that placement test and skip a semester or 2 semesters of math, then your goal should be up here like 30 to 40, 50 topics a week. If that's your goal to be able to do well, the ultimate goal is to do well on that placement test and hopefully save several semesters of math. And go directly closer to your degree. I mean, that's the whole goal. So try to look at this class as a big picture, not just trying to meet the minimum amount. Now, also, if you look at this menu, there's like the grade book. I mean, there's a lot of things here. You can learn, you can review different topics you've already done. assignments, worksheet. So let me click on gradebook and show you, because what you have is it lets you know weekly time goal. I have the time goal, I have 7% done already inside of ALEKS, and it lets you know it's worth 40% of your weekly goal. This is worth 60% of your weekly goal of completing the topics. And again, I have not completed any topics yet. So you'll see, click on the grade book every week, and you'll see this percentage is what's, if I stop ALEKS right now, I'm going to get 0% transferred for the topics, and I'm going to get 7% topics for the time goal transferred. So you can always see in the grade book here what percent is going to be transferred over to Blackboard once the week is over. The week goes from Tuesday through Monday, except for the first week. The first week it actually goes from Monday to Monday. Um, so you have actually 8 days the first week to get everything done. So you can always just push the home button and it takes you back to the topics and again, start my path. So once you start your path, it takes you to a couple examples, and then it also has a couple things over here you can use. Um, there's a dictionary if you want, but there's the ebook there, the electronic book, textbook if you want to look at it. There's a video on some of these problems, you want to watch that. A calculator if that's available on certain problems, you can use that as well. Can I suggest to you though, and then you have a start button right here. So look over the topics, take some notes. Can I suggest as you learn a topic that you actually take notes? I know this whole thing is on, this is an online course, but the comments I get typically from students in this class, how we get to the fourth week and fifth week, students keep making comments like, well, I'm forgetting everything that I learned back in week 1 and week 2. And, because you're learning a lot of topics every single week. And so can I suggest take out a brand new spiral notebook, and on a piece of paper, you write down the title, the simplifying, the title of the topic, and then week 1, and then write down an example or 2 examples or 3 examples, and any reminders or helpful hints that help you figure out this problem. And then as you go on to the next topic, at the top of the paper, write the topic and write 1 or 2 examples, and I would do it that way. And then every week or so, if you forget something, you can easily go back to your paper. It's right there. It's very handy. Again, you can always go back to here and look back here, but then you might spend time finding like, where was that problem at? And I think it would be very much easier if you did your own personal notes, and then just look back at them every once in a while to refresh your memory as you continue on through this course. So it will be very helpful if you do that, especially toward the 7th week and getting ready for the 8th week, the placement test. You'll have basically a study guide that will help you. So I hope this helps you and explains things. If you have any math questions, like if you're not sure how to do a certain math question and you're like, I've tried it several times, like you actually start the topic and you're ready to do this. Well, how do you do this? Just take a screenshot of this and then email that to me. If you can't figure it out, you keep getting the wrong answer or something like that, and you can't understand it, take a screenshot of the problem, email that to me, and I'll be glad to answer that question for you and explain to you how to do the problem. So if I can help you in any way, just let me know.